Warning, the following show features stunts performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. Accordingly, the reality guys and producers must insist that none of these opinions be taken as facts. Now, please enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Hi, everybody.
As you can see here in the title, we are back to cover something that we're actually surprised was kind of a hit with our viewership last year, and we only really covered the end of the season. So we thought, you know what, it's going to be more apt, and let's cover it episode by episode, at least to start. We're talking about the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. This season is affectionately also titled the Ex-Wives Club, because every single housewife on the season has been fired from the show at some point and no longer actually appears on their season, which I think is really funny.
How does that work?
That basically is just like they're recurring kind of casts and like rotate out. So it's just basically a lot of them too, though. Most of them, like they're talking like Brandi. Brandi was the only one that burned out pretty quick. She burned out like relatively fast. So they're talking about like Vicki. Vicki did like 13, 14 seasons. Tamara did 12 seasons. I'm not sure about Phaedra and the Atlanta Wives. I haven't watched that series myself. That's the next one on my list. But I'm sure they were on for multiple seasons as well. So the fact that it's funny, it's just like, it just happens. You rotate out. If you're less confrontational, if you have less interesting things going on, you're getting older, maybe you're more steady. And so it seems like things like that. Now with Vicki finding out that she got dumped the day before the filming started, they may scoop her back possibly if they haven't already, because I feel like now she'll be turbulent. She was like one of the original housewives, like from the very beginning of the whole series. Yeah, she was synonymous. It was like Vicki, people like Bethany, and people like that. Like there's a few of them that were even like some of the ones we saw last year, like the Countess and like people from the original New York one. Those ones were very, and like I said, the OC Beverly Hills ones, those were early as well. But again, so the kind of premise is a little bit different this season. So instead of going to a tropical island, they're going to stay at Dorinda's house in the Berkshires. So for all of you who obviously watched Real Housewives of New York like I do, the Berkshires was kind of a running joke. Once Dorinda was on the show, and she wasn't on anymore, she hasn't been on for a while, but the Berkshires were something she always bragged about. The Berkshires. They would always go, once she was on, they would go like once a season to the Berkshires for either like a day or a weekend, whatever. And kind of like Brandi said, every time they go to the Berkshires, things explode. Like it goes horrible. There's always fights, like bad fights, blackouts, like the whole thing. And obviously that's what's going to happen here on this. My question was, how much did they pay her to literally like invade her home and host the entire show?
Yeah, because it's such a downgrade from what's Turks and Caicos they were last year. Is that what you said?
Caicos, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
what? So whoever said like what a downgrade, I completely agree. Like that sucks that you got to go to Massachusetts over. Is it Mexico? I don't even know where Turks and Caicos is.
No, Turks and Caicos is Turks and Caicos.
It's just Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, it's an island. Yeah. But I even just mean like, how much did they have to pay Dorinda to have them like come and invade for the entire like week and have all these people there? But
$250.
Actually, I kind of, as I'm saying that, maybe not that much, because the whole fact is they were all fired, and I think they're all just like honestly desperate to get back on TV. Like most of them have admitted. So it is kind of funny that this is like their re-audition into getting back onto reality TV, or maybe get invited back into their franchises, because, or it might be their last hurrah for some people like Brandi.
It's like the Challenge All-Stars of this week.
It is. It's the Challenge All-Stars, like, and American Idol. Like they're trying to win a job back. Maybe the best person out gets their job back. So I'm just going to run through like the random notes here. Obviously, people watching here, they don't need us to break down moment by moment, but I did kind of do these chronologically, things I thought were funny as we go. So obviously, these are the cast members: Dorinda from New York, Phaedra from Atlanta, Eva from Atlanta, Taylor from Beverly Hills, Brandi as well, Tamara and Vicki. Vicki was an OG. That was Orange County. So Brandi was also Beverly Hills. That means one kind of criticism I did have was the no tagline in the intros. They usually have a sassy kind of intro line about themselves. I kind of a little upset about that. I think regular fans will agree. But something I know you agree with, Bri, is this show has the best editing.
It does. It's the editing so good.
Editing is so good, from the Dorinda doing like the whole stick charts of who hates who likes who. That was perfect. I mean, that's what you need. And the rules of the lady of the manor, I thought were good, and they were all going to get broken.
Yeah, and I've actually seen episode 2. The editing, there's a couple other good ones that you'll really like.
Ooh, okay, cool. Yeah,
you'll enjoy.
I do like that Dorinda is the only one who can't admit that they got fired.
Yeah,
Andy Cohen affectionately has told them that they're on pause.
Yeah,
and she just doesn't understand that means that, like, hey, look, like, we're kind of sick of you. We'll put you in this all-star season because we're going to use your house, but it's a very good chance we're not going to put you back on. And I think you're going to see a stark difference between like Dorinda, and I know you've seen episode 2, I haven't, but like when Jill Zarin shows up, like, Jill has no desire to be back on like reality TV at all. They definitely had to pay her a crap ton. I never in a million years thought she would come back on. She was so done with these people and so done with the show overall and moved on with her life. To come back is like, they had to pay her way too much money to come back.
See, that's stuff I wouldn't know. Like, I'm just watching the show blind just for the
her
podcast.
Her husband Bobby was really like a main character on the show as well, but he was like a really nice guy. He owned I believe it was like a furniture store in the city and stuff, and unfortunately he got sick and passed away like while the show was on and stuff. And when he got sick and passed away, she stopped doing the show, and of course she had like fights with people and stuff throughout it and stuff, but I think she kind of gained some perspective. So that's why I was like shocked that I haven't got the episode 2 yet, so won't really comment more past that. But one thing that is for sure, man, like, some of these women have not changed a lick. They have not changed. Some of these ones, and I haven't watched some of these seasons, like stuff like, I haven't caught up with Vicki in a while and Tamara in a while, but it is just so stark to see the difference between seeing some of these like 12, 15 years ago to now. Like, it's funny. It's kind of like Jersey Shore funny, but like, these people are even crazier than that. I mean,
they love their own brand. I think it's the best way to describe it in a PG way. They just no self-awareness whatsoever.
So, flashbacks reveal how different they look. Rules of the manor, lady of the manor. Vicki absolutely hates being there. Vicki thinks it's garbage. She thinks it's a shitty house. She wants to go to the bars. Very, very funny. That is not going to change. And you saw the first episode. Vicki is the worst. Vicki is like,
she sucks.
Vicki's like, what's her name from last season? And I'll pop the picture up because I'm having a brain fart right now.
Everything's got to be centered around them.
Yeah. So we're talking about Ramona. Obviously, I was having a brain fart. Had to pause for a second. But Vicki, I literally think if you put Vicki and Ramona in the same house, it would collapse like a black hole. Like, it wouldn't even be able to exist. The complaining and privilege and just like annoyingness of the two of them. If they did another one, I would actually pay for like a season of just them in a condo for like a weekend. Like, they would probably murder each other.
Vicki, this wait till you see episode 2. There's a situation that I know it's going to boil your blood.
Well, Vicki is the worst. Vicki's spoiled too. Vicki announced she got dumped by this husband. Vicki, if you watch the seasons, people know where her like boyfriend, because she was divorced during this show, like early on. She was married in the very beginning, gets divorced. Then the next boyfriend was a guy like Don or whatever, and he was like a scam artist or something. Apparently, I said there was a whole thing. Like, she was like in trouble. She's been through a ton of things. So to see her now, and it's like, just chill a little bit. Just
how did she make money, Bill? Like, what was the original? How did she get rich? If you remember,
she used to work. She definitely had she was a businesswoman. Definitely in the beginning, she was like a working mom. She had a young daughter who was like high school age when the show started. But I know there was a riff. I don't think they really like speak much anymore. So that was all. I mean, again, these seasons, these early ones were a dozen years ago. So I mean, literally, like, we were in high school when those seasons were airing, and I was watching originally. Overall, I think it's a crazy mix too. I love the Atlanta girls. I think the Atlanta girls are going to be because they don't know any. They don't know any of the tea, and they're just going to cause like conversations to be spurred quicker that would not be spurred. Brandi is a nightmare.
Awful.
Brandi's a nightmare.
She's awful, man.
Brandi was a nightmare on the show. She was a super drunk. She stopped drinking, then she's drinking again. But now, even like, you even saw like her podcast and stuff she does in like her videos. She's like just like sitting in her bedroom, like in lingerie answering
Yeah.
questions. Like, and I'm sorry, and I'm not going to be really do. We don't do the like attacking looks thing or whatever, but like the drastic difference, like how much work she's had done and stuff is like, damn, like she was beautiful before. Like,
Yeah, it's a lot of questionable judgment. They need to do like a documentary on like showing people before you get plastic surgery or Botox. This is what you're going to look like.
it's like stark
Maybe
and you
stop
feel
it.
bad. And I don't think again, I don't know. We're not saying she's a bad person, people watching, whatever, but like it is shocking to me in that front. So, overall, I'm looking forward to episodes 1 through 3 have already dropped on Peacock. If you want to watch this, Peacock, you can even download for free the app. You just have to watch with ads. There's only like a few commercials throughout the whole thing. It's really not bad. We're going to definitely give you an episodes 1, 2, and 3 review. And then depending on how the episodes go weekly, we'll probably just give you a weekly review. If this is your first time checking out the channel because you're a Housewives fan, we do everything reality TV, including the Bachelor franchise, Survivor, Amazing Race, The Challenge, any Netflix reality TV show, and anything in between. We also take recommendations. So let us know if there's anything you think we should check out or watch, or even maybe a specific Housewives season that's current that you guys think we would get a kick out of watching an episode of. We'll even check something out like that. But overall, a great start, and I am very much looking forward to episodes 2 and 3. Also, look out for a review of the Buckhead Shore series premiere on MTV. Do you even know where Buckhead is?
Is that in Atlanta?
I have no
or Georgia?
idea. I have no clue. So we are going to find out. But we're gonna have to get. I don't want that to. The only thing with that is I don't want it to replace Floribama, and I have a feeling that's what they're gearing this to do.
Yeah, we're gonna save that show.
We're gonna work on that this week. We're gonna do some tweeting and some DMs this week. We're gonna save Floribama Shore. But stay tuned for that, by the way. But for myself and Brian, thank you. Peace.